wasn't running for president, and I have to say I'm kind of fucking pissed off about it, because that means I've just wasted basically the past 3 years of my life on something that was completely meaningless in the end. I think it's really funny, the whole cult of Steve Jobs is like, I've always made fun of it because I never have really understood it on that level, because I don't know. I think the guy was pretty much an asshole. Occupy Wall Street thing, it's like, since I'm not in the US right now, it's like, I don't know, when I first remember hearing about it, and I heard a lot about it, people were like, well, the news media isn't covering it. And I'm like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, I hear all about it all the time. Just for the record, I think Steve Jobs obviously is a genius, you know, and I really admire people who can like literally dedicate their lives to like a single mission, because I have ADD. I've known freaks, anarchists, left-wing socialists, fucking neo-Nazi fascist skinheads. Like, I've hung out with like so many of those kinds of people throughout my life, and I'm always seem to be around those kind of people. But the reason I just don't have sympathy for a lot of the things that they try to do, because I guess I've known too many of those people personally who are really caught up in those movements, and I just think they're completely full of shit. But then what people seem to forget is all Steve Jobs was doing was just heading up like a group of like a lot of people who were like all working towards a common goal. And so really that just means that he's a really good project manager, and I know a lot of good project managers. They just don't happen to be working on devices that change the world. And I mean, I guess in the end it wasn't really all that big of a surprise, because you know, after Michelle Bachmann came in and kind of stole some of Sarah's sort of thunder, then Sarah kind of went underground, and then she went on that stupid fucking bus tour with all that like stupid spray paint shit on the outside of it that looked more like something from like Gatlinburg, like those t-shirts that they would spray paint that say I'm his or I'm hers or Jesus is Lord or what, all that fucking stupid crap. But whether he hired good project managers is probably the case, but you know, that's what it all comes down to. If you have money and you know how to surround yourself with really good people, then you can really accomplish a hell of a whole lot. Now, with that said, it's basically a movement of white privileged kids. So, but yeah, you know, so it's sad, but you know, there'll be another Steve Jobs. There'll be something better. And besides, it's like everything that Apple was doing is really already been done in like Star Trek and in 2001: A Space Odyssey. And maybe it's just because I'm getting older and I just don't really give a shit. Then you have people who come along and have companies that physically make those things a reality. And that's not to diminish that at all. I think it works hand in hand. But I think I love that people like Steve Jobs are given all the credit for, you know, inventing all these great things. And it's like, well, I don't know that he invented them necessarily. He just sort of like made things that had already been in pop culture for a long time just actually possible. But it was also made possible by a lot of other things that he didn't invent. The heterosexuals pretty much dominate every fucking fact. So as a tribute to Steve Jobs, I'm actually filming this on my iPhone, but the irony is that I will actually edit it on a PC using Microsoft software. So, fuck you, Steve.